Hey there, Duff here. Probably can't see me again. It's actually a little bit earlier than the other day. I am actually on my way to the dealership to drop it off for the 10,000 mile maintenance, which is basically an oil change, and I don't know what else they do besides that. But I also am going to have them look at the ABS light, and actually I've been calling it an ABS light, and I think technically if you look in the manual, it's that warning light that's been coming on is the SRS light, the supplemental restraint system light. So if you've been watching my videos, you know that that's been coming off and on for several months now at this point. And of course yesterday it didn't come on at all, and so far on the drive to the dealership it has not come on either, so I'm worried that they're going to get it in there. They're going to say, oh, we can't reproduce the problem, bring it back when it's on. So I'm hoping that this is one of those kind of things that's recorded in the computer system, so they have record of it. I don't know if it is, but I'm hoping, because I certainly don't want to be running the truck back and forth to the dealership in the hopes that the light happens to be on. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. They're giving me a loaner, so just in case this takes a prolonged amount of time, because last time that they did diagnostics on the other aero lights I was getting, it was, I think, 3 days. So I would like to avoid that. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was some feedback about my mileage video, about why your mileage sucks. And I got interesting feedback. It had to do with several different things. One of the common themes, probably the thing that was mentioned the most, was, I guess years ago, Mythbusters did a show where they tested the mileage for a truck with the tailgate down and the tailgate up, because logic, or at least logic in my head, would dictate that when you have the tailgate up, kind of like I explained the other day, that you're going to have more wind drag, and so if the tailgate was down, you would have less wind drag. And evidently the Mythbusters, it's a tongue twister, the Mythbusters episode illustrated that actually when you have the tailgate up, it creates like a pocket of swirling air underneath that allows the air that comes over the top of the cab to exit cleanly. And surprisingly, if you have the tailgate down, that pocket of air kind of pushes back, more air pushes back and actually retards the forward progress of the truck, which I'm not a physicist, but I believe them. I looked it up. I didn't find the Mythbusters episode, but I did find another video that talked about this phenomenon. But I would just like to add the caveat that I would say that having a bed cover on the truck is going to avoid that pocket of air that they're talking about. So maybe it's a wash when you have the bed cover on versus having the tailgate up. That would be my unscientific thesis on that. So I'm actually almost at the dealership, so I'm going to talk about this a little bit more. Okay, is there anywhere to put this thing? Out there. Alright, so, whoa. I guess that's not a good place. Let's try that again. So I'm now in my rental vehicle, rocking the RAV4, base model RAV4. Seems okay. I'm looking at the steering wheel to see if it has more or less stuff than the Tacoma does. It has more. It looks like it has lane departure warning on it. It's kind of interesting. But anyways, what I was saying was with the mileage feedback. So there was the tailgate up and down thing. So evidently, if you just have a tailgate, you should drive with it up instead of down if you want better mileage, which is surprising. But I do think that having a bed cover would be definitely not worse than having the tailgate up, and possibly even a little bit better. because it is raising that whole level. There is no area for air to get trapped in. And then some other people were asking about the tires that I'm using. I have a TRD Sport. It's stock tires, the stock wheels, stock tires. And also, I should have mentioned, I guess I just assumed, accelerating this mount does not work very well. I guess I should have mentioned, I assume that people realize that I live in Florida for some reason, even though if you're just seeing my channel for the first time, you might not know that. But my terrain here is very, very smooth, very, very flat. The biggest hills you have around here are bridges. There really are no hills otherwise. Temperatures are warm. The roads are straight. There's very, very little turns in the roads here. Everything was, when it was laid out in the 50s and 60s, it was just a whole bunch of straight lines. And traffic-wise, I do, with my commute, I do have stop-and-go driving, but there are sections as well. Like there's like a 10-mile section where there's no traffic lights at all, so that helps as well. When you're doing stopping and going, that's going to negatively impact your gas mileage as well. So I just wanted to mention that I posted the 26.4 I got on my commute home as an example. But you have to factor those things in. If you live in West Virginia in the Appalachians, I doubt that you're going to get the same kind of mileage that I can get. So anyways, with dropping off my truck this morning, went smoothly. I got a 7 o'clock appointment, like first appointment that they have in the morning. And my service representative, he's a nice guy. He's very, very nice in person and friendly and accommodating. And but this is the same guy I also had an issue with the last time he was in the shop, where I mysteriously would not hear back from him for days. I would leave messages and not get callbacks, so that was annoying. So hopefully we don't go through that pattern again this time. I described the SRS warning light behavior to him, and he wasn't sure, but he said that hopefully that stuff is recorded, that they're texted, they have a way to play back any errors that pop in. And he's not sure if the SRS light is one of those errors that is recorded that way, but if so, they'll be able to track it. So hoping it gets handled. So I'll be back later with an update. I'm crossing my fingers I get the truck back today. It's interesting, this our RAV4 has lane departure assist. I don't know if I'd want that on my Tacoma or not, but the RAV4 does have it. I think what it does is it, like if your turn signal's not on and you start drifting out of the lane, it will like nudge you and actually correct your steering wheel. So, interesting. Okay, so just an update. Talked to the Toyota dealership, and they told me that they identified the source of the SRS airbag warning light that I've been getting. They said it has something to do with a wiring harness that is attached to the passenger side curtain airbag. But unfortunately, whatever part they need to fix the problem is not available. It's not in stock, I guess. And they did not have, as of late this afternoon, they did not have an ETA for that. The vehicle's still not put back together. So it sounds like what they're going to wind up doing is they have to get some sort of, sounds crazy, but they have to get some sort of authorization from some regional person that allows me to drive the truck with this defective airbag problem until they get the part. And then they said I have to like sign something to authorize that. So it's kind of annoying. So I'm taking the loaner car home, and if things go as they described, they should probably have the truck back tomorrow, but it will not be completely fixed. I will have to take it back in whenever they get the part. So that's the update. Duffman out.